Kev, looking back at our start to the campaign, it's the best one for 35 years since the 1990-91 season. How good a platform is that to build on?
Yeah, brilliant. I think that the big thing for me was, no hangover from the playoff, and because we had a shortened off season as well, and all credit to the players for that, and the staff, for everyone that. Listen, we managed to get away in pre-season. I think that played a huge part. So grateful that we were able to do that as a club. It gave us time away from the training ground, if you want, and played a part. And I think that the players that come in as well give everyone a boost. And I think when you add good players to squad, that picks everyone up as well. So yeah, delighted, because there could have been a hangover. When you say it's best in 35 years, there's some going, really. But we always want more, and that's not going to change.
Yeah, we had no game at the weekend due to the postponement. How does that affect your plans coming into tomorrow's game?
Yeah, a little bit, in terms of you don't do anything Saturday. They're off Sunday. We have the 2-day lead in now, to obviously with the game on a Wednesday. So yeah, disappointing. Obviously the game's off, and disappointing for the number of fans that travelled up on the day and got so close to being there. So obviously they're the ones that inconvenience the most. But yeah, this is what it is, and we just prepare properly, that we have done Monday, Tuesday, ready for the game on Wednesday.
Looking at preparations for Eastleigh, without a manager at the moment, is that a case of focusing on ourselves in terms of the preparation? Yeah,
I think so. Listen, whether the personnel will probably be very similar. Whoever takes over or whoever takes the game will have their own ideas, I'm sure. But we've got to get right what we do, and make sure we're the best version of ourselves going into it.
And the travelling support, again, a number of them, as you say, made their way to Rochdale, but there'll be at least 350 at Eastleigh on a Wednesday night. What have you made of them over the course of the season?
Yeah, unbelievable. I think, but not just this season, go back to the end of last season when, we went to Gateshead, the last game, Rochdale, Forest Green, obviously Wembley. I don't think it's not a surprise to me, if you want, the numbers we take, and I think it contributes to our way form being good, when they more or less outnumber a lot of the home fans in a lot of places we go. So, extremely grateful for them to, like you say, spending the money they do, because, obviously we had Rochdale the weekend, we've got Eastleigh now, and hopefully we can go and give them 3 points.
Perfect, thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Kevin, when the game was postponed on Saturday, what was the overriding feeling when that happens, when you made the journey? Yeah,
disappointing, because you want to play. There's obviously stuff is out of your control, so you can't get too upset about it. You've got to just deal with it. Gives you time to then prepare for the next game, and we're still back quite late, actually, so you can't, obviously the Saturdays are right off, Sunday we're off, but we have the 2-day lead in, so it was okay. But it gives you time to refocus on the next one. Obviously we'll have to go back to Rochdale another day.
I suppose, like you say, there are two sides to it, aren't there? Some you would have wanted to get momentum up, but then again, you've got 4 games coming up in 2 weeks, a bit of extra rest in there.
Yeah, if you want. We were looking forward to it. I've got to say, we were looking forward to the game, and when you travel and you're there and you're prepared the night before, etc., you want the game to go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose, like I said, just talk about team news very briefly as well. Charlie Kendall and Starby Spells up as well.
Yeah, Charlie's still not on the grass, so not available. Slavy will be, he's trained now, so yeah, he's done enough to get through, we think, so part of the squad. And gives us the selection headaches that we want, and I think that the competition's there is healthy. We got a lot of games coming up again, so I'm sure they'll be needed, and with 1 or 2 bumps and bruises along the way, I'm sure, but everyone that comes in has got to perform, and that's where the standards have got to be high, and if you do get a chance, you've got to take it.
We've been speaking to Cav Maher, obviously he's been a big part of the squad recently as well, so it's been great for him to get back to full fitness. How pleased have you been to have him back as well, and the role he's been playing for you? Yeah,
of course, delighted. The difficult season last year, of course, when it was so stop-start with some injuries, but you look what he was before that, and he played every minute of every game for us. Need Cav back, fully fit, fully at it. He's got great leadership skills. His energy and enthusiasm around the pitch is infectious to other people, and as part of the squad that we've got, he adds a big part to it.
Obviously going to Eastleigh, as you've touched on already, big change within a few days for them, really, with Kelvin Davis making that departure. Obviously I know very much focus on yourselves as well, but when you in general, when you have a team that has made a late change like that, you're going into it, what is the best approach?
Yeah, listen, I think we'll look at the scenarios they might have in terms of personnel they've got, the shape they've played and what that looks like. Whether there'll be tweaks to that, we'll have to be ready for. And, they've certainly got the option to do that, I think. With the players they've got, they've had a front three that looked quite lively, and pretty consistent with what they've had so far this season. But listen, we've got to focus on ourselves and get ourselves right. And we know if we do that, then we're more than a match for anyone.
Yeah. I remember you saying a few weeks ago that consistency was the word. And I mean, it's something you've seen in your side. There's some really good performances from them. But what would you like to see from them in this Eastleigh game to keep that up? Yeah,
listen, performances, individually, players performing collectively as a team, that, there's that cohesion, if you want, within that. Just, proper performances and, lots of energy, lots of quality. Lots of us on the front foot, and go take the game to Eastleigh. And obviously they've had a change in that, so we want to take the game to them as much as we can, and respect the opponents, of course. But as I keep saying, we've got to perform.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Charlie's injury a bit worse than first feared then, or when do you feel that he could be back?
Yeah, hopefully not too long. I think we thought he might be coming from his back a bit, but we've got someone to have a look at him. We're just waiting for a result of that to see how much longer it might be, or what it is really. So we've got to be really careful with it, hamstring and that, because he's quite an explosive player. So it's a strength of his and one of his, most important factors of his game. So hopefully we'll get a response on that, but hopefully not too not bad, because it was never done in a one action or one moment that it happened in. So hopefully it's not too bad.
But striker options, you have got them now, haven't you, compared to previous years? You didn't really have any, so that's a good headache to have still. Yeah,
absolutely. And listen, it's the toughest one at the minute. When you've got to leave people out the squad. But you see the amount of games at the front end of this season. How many there are. You do need a squad at the start of the season. We've got that, and listen, it's up to whoever's selected to perform. And I've got to say, anyone's come in has done that. And when we've rotated or changed the team around, everyone's by and large performed.
Yeah, and I know I've asked this before, and you sometimes do. Have you got any superstitions at the moment with things going well? Have you got anything lucky that you take with you today?
Do you know what? The office, Daz and Ben are so superstitious.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we all are a little bit. We're trying to get away from that a little bit, about what polo top to wear. There could be so many, but we're trying to stay away from that. You have routines, of course. I think we like being consistent in what a week looks like and what we do. And I wouldn't say there's something that stands out at the minute, no.